we have the president of the Manitoba Métis Federation on the board, one of the busiest guys. That should be on his card, One of the busiest guys I know for sure, David Chartrand.
How are you doing, Ray?
I'm just doing fine. How are you?
Good. Just listening to the show this morning and laughing along with everybody, and good to hear all these people having a chance to say hi to their family and friends, no matter where they live in Canada. And that's what the show is created for, to make sure people are talking to each other and following up on each other, checking on each other, and at the same time giving our updates to what's going on in the Métis government. So it's definitely panned itself out, Ray. In 22 years, it's definitely done its job. So
I'll never forget. I always tell that story about you bringing me in your office.
Yeah. What I thought was if I want to find somebody that's going to really resonate and connect with the people, and somebody that's definitely earned that right to be a host of such a show, would definitely be you. So I was very pleased. I did not know you personally, but it was good to bring your legendary knowledge of music into the show. And of course, you got the workaholic cowboy there with you now, and we miss Naomi sometimes. Of course, she's at CTV, and I get to talk to her occasionally.
Yep.
And it's always great to speak to Naomi. I miss her occasionally. I don't want to tell her too much because it'll get to her big head.
That's right.
Anyway, so let me start off by saying some happy birthdays here first.
Yeah.
I got Terry Somerset. I talked about her. She was 96 years old. That was over a week ago, and. But one of the things that really I had to follow up on in my office is they didn't send out her present. Oh. And so they're doing it right now, and it'll get to her right away. I do apologize to you. She's one of our regular listeners on the show, and she's the one that tells me I'm still young at 61. So so she's such an avid, strong believer in fighting for the cause and what the Federation has done and what's doing today, and the struggle she grew up as a child being Métis and the hardships she faced, and she talks about those stories. And those are, like I said, our encyclopedias, our elders. It's always important. We never forget them. So same thing with Jean and Margaret. They listen to our show all the time. Chaboyer and the Saint-Laurent, they're probably listening right now as we speak. And he can't wait for spring. And so I hope he still has his grad sales. I always look forward to, and you'll see the sign, the best bannock ever in Manitoba. Stop and buy some. So I'm very proud of that. We also have a special happy birthday going out to Pat Vermillion. That's Lloyd Vermillion, of course, one of our long-time... Actually, both Pat and Lloyd worked at the Federation. They both retired. And Lloyd Vermillion is originally from St. Clara, and Pat. And so it's good to say happy birthday to her from her husband on February 28th on Sunday. Apparently, she doesn't want to reveal her age. I don't know what's that all about. I'll have to find that out. So what she's being secretive about, I need to know. So now I'm nosy. Anyways, also say happy birthday to Irene Demray, who is celebrating her 63rd birthday. I want to say especially happy birthday to her. And I hope Kenlyn's listening. Kenlyn's celebrating her 7th happy birthday on Sunday. And actually, we're going out to get a gift for her. That's Derek Danielson and Candace's daughter. They want to say a special happy birthday to their daughter. And Derek, of course, does our wood project here in the south, and Hilda does it in the central, and Richard does it in the north. So actually, Ray, we're short wood right now. I've had some crews looking around to see if we can get some wood. Mm-hmm. We didn't anticipate that we'd run short, but we gave 2.5 cords this year instead of 2. And but these individuals get a chance to meet with people, and especially because these are elders they're meeting with and delivering the wood, and the crews really pile up the wood nicely for them where they want it, and the elders are so appreciative, and they always want to try to offer them coffee or tea or sandwiches, and of course they have to decline given COVID, otherwise they wouldn't disrespect the elders. So, but these things are so important. Derek brought to my attention a Métis family. She's Métis, her husband's not, but they're both elderly and both retired, and their house is not in good shape. They've struggled with medical costs and so forth and other things that they're going through, and Derek brought it to my attention because, these people never complain. It's a good thing about our Métis Nation, Indigenous people in general. We don't complain. We'll just live whatever we were given and try our best to make it whatever it can be, right?
Right.
And our people just don't complain. They're just hard-working, good people, strong, big-hearted people. Even our Empress, Gloria was telling me again, one of the Empress was being delivered. She said, "Can you take it to somewhere else? I have enough food with me. Give it to some, maybe some shelter or somewhere else, or another family." It's just like there's no greed in it. There's just no giving behind me. I'm going to hoard it all, and it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. It's not that way, and that's such a cultural identity of the Indigenous people, and I hope our young generation never lose that, to share and support each other. So when Derek was at that house, he was quite concerned about, inside how the house was looking in the outside, and it just seemed to be, leaning too far to one area, and it looked like it needed some work. And of course, some of our elders don't realize we have these good programs at the Federation, like ELP, for example, which will go on our minister runs, which helps private homeowners that own a house to upkeep their house if there's roof needed, or a bathroom, a kitchen, a flooring, a mold, whatever. They can apply for $15,000 for free as a grant from the Federation, and we'll go and fix their house. So, but this house needs a little bit more than that, so we will spend a little bit more than that. So I phoned the family personally. I sent Kevin down there to go meet with them first to see if they're okay, if I can check up on them, and they were very appreciative of that. And so I had a chat to talk with both of them, and they were so taken by the Federation, and even just the wood. He said, that's more than enough in the hamper, that's more than enough. But, I'm going to fix their house so that they can live in there for the rest of their lives. Mm-hmm. So just to show that, these programs, not only did they serve wood, they brought to the attention. These people would never apply for $15,000 or a grant, because they would have just kept on trying to make ends meet the way they live, right? And they're already struggling. So I'm very pleased that Derek brought to my attention, and then Kevin quickly went down there, and now I'm sending a crew down there to fix their house up. And I can't tell you how many things they told me on the phone. I was talking to them, and I said, look, that's my job as the president, and that's my job as the government, to try and take care of my people, and I'll make sure I do my best. So they're going to be very, very proud when they're finished, and making sure their house is livable, and that they can stay safe in their home for hopefully many years to come, even though they have some chronic illnesses. Now, I hope Kendallin was listening. Can you sing happy birthday to Kendallin? She's 7 years old on Sunday. Ray, I'd really appreciate it.
All right.
Probably jump in there with your high-pitched voice.
What's her name again?
Kendallin.
Kendallin.
Yeah.
Kendallin, okay. Kendallin?
Yeah.
This is for you. A cowboy just stepped out, but...
Okay. Well, you and I will do it then.
All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kendallin. Happy birthday to you.
And definitely many, many, many more.
Yes, sir.
That's coming from her dad and Derek and her mom, Candace. So happy birthday. And Derek also wants to say hi to his dad, Ken Danielson, who's a regular on our show.
Yes.
Now, there's other events that are taking place. Of course, everybody's heard about the commemoration launch and that our team has worked on. It's gone out. This program is going to effectively kick in June, but they have it ready already for initial applications to come in. And this is the veteran settlement that said, Ray, I worked 20 years on and finally got the settlement. And this is, again, proof of the Prime Minister's word, Justin Trudeau, that he was committed to it. He made this commitment before he was leader of the Liberal Party. And he said, if I ever become Prime Minister, David, I promise you I'll keep my word for you. That I will make sure I settle this thing for the veterans. And he did. So that $30 million, we've issued quite a number. I think it's 29 veterans we found, 30 spouses, and then children, of course. If their veteran family member died January 1st forward, then that means that they will be entitled to, as children, equal division January 1st, 2016 forward. So, but with that, the program is going to be there forever. So this program is launching. Organizations, our locals listening right now, community groups can apply as long as it remembers and honors World War II veterans. And for us, it's such an important feat, and that was one of the lasting legacies our veterans wanted to make sure that they're never forgotten. And this program will allow, we hope, the program will start off with $1.5 million this year, and after that, we anticipate about $1 million a year, close, if not, around that range, to be eligible for our veterans, organizations to apply to remember our World War II veterans. So that is such a great program, and I'm proud of the accomplishments and the achievements we made. And Ray, I sat with veterans and cried with them as they tell their stories of how they were so mistreated by these young bureaucrats and just basically shunted aside. I actually watched a video just the other night, my wife and I, on a music video on veterans in the United States. There's 300,000 of them homeless right now.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. And a lot of them, of course, have a bunch of mental challenges based on what they saw and the hell they went through, and they can't take it, and they turn to alcohol and drugs or different forms of just can't take the pain in their head, and they're living in the streets. And so is some of our veterans here. So we know our veterans that are out there that are struggling. Get a hold of the Federation. Métis Veterans will take care of you right away and help you out in your challenges. So we could never forget our veterans. They're they give us the freedom and liberties we enjoy today, and sometimes we forget to say thank you, and that thank you should last for the rest of their lives, as long as they walk on this planet, and then even after that. So on the vaccine issue, people have been listening to that, and I'm quite pleased about what our team has been doing. They've been doing such a superb job. I was just proud of the work that they accomplished. As of course, Anita and France are leading that file, and I just want to be so clear that this work that they're doing has truly changed the opportunity in the lives of our citizens, and it's made it very clear that our hamper program, our funding to businesses, our funding to students, all of these pieces of supports have truly made a big difference, and it's just, I don't know, I can't say thank you enough to my team and our team across and all the staff that are working to make such a difference for our people. And it's not the province. I guarantee you the province hasn't lifted one finger to help us. In fact, you just seen Dr. Reimer representing the province when she's saying, well, Métis aren't entitled to get the vaccines as First Nations because they can't prove me data that they have chronic illnesses. Well, let's understand something, everybody that's listening on the show. And that's why I said I commend the First Nations. I commend Grand Chief Daniel, Grand Chief Settee, who fought vigorously for ensuring that their people are never forgotten, and I really commend them. And the chiefs themselves who stand together united to protect their citizens. But when you look at the issue of their accomplishments to get that data signed and agreement put in place, they won't sign one with us, Ray. So how can they tell us, give me the data, but they won the data. They won't give it to us. How can we give you data you won't share with us?
Yeah.
So it's just like it's like saying, well, I want to get you that you're hungry. You're very hungry, right? You see that plate of food there? You can have it, but there's a glass wall there. You can't get through. You can look at it. That's all you can do. So it is unbelievable that the Dr. Reimer, a doctor who signed an oath, and Dr. Rosen, they both sign oath, and they become doctors, that they will care and ensure that the lives of every citizen that they deal with is protected, that they have a very strong oath that they sign. And for her to say she doesn't know about the Métis people, doesn't know our chronic illnesses, doesn't know it exists, we gave them the study that sits in the government right now. It's sitting with the health department. It knows that Métis have the highest chronic illnesses in this province. It's not the fault of Métis people. It's the fault of two governments blaming each other who's responsible, but both of them don't hesitate to take our taxes. Yeah. And so when you look at it from the concept of them now blaming an excuse that show us the data, well, how can you show data when you don't want to give us the data? You won't sign an agreement to share the data. So it's like it's such a hypocrisy of a statement, and it just drives me absolutely insane. They think they can hide and outsmart us or outmaneuver us. They're not. At the end of the day, I will hold Dr. Reimer and Dr. Rosen personally accountable for this. And of course, we know where it's coming from Pallister. So, but remember that this is not a threat; it's a promise. Right. I will hold them accountable. I will find a way to get to them and to challenge them why they would, as two doctors. Because ask this question: if you're a doctor and you sign a note that you'll care for people, why wouldn't Dr. Reimer or Dr. Rosen say to the Minister of Health, excuse me, why aren't we giving the data to the Métis people? Excuse me, why aren't the Métis people, if we don't have the data, why aren't we working with them? Why are we not making sure they get their vaccines? We're doctors. We've got to take care of everybody. So you would think that they would take that special challenge if they're responsible instead of taking the speech that's given to them to say to the public, oh, they have no data, so we can't give it to them. And then Dr. Anderson following suit with that statement, that was kind of a very strong disappointment from an Indigenous doctor. So, but again, we will survive, Ray. Yeah. Métis have survived for 200 years. We've gone to war. We've gone through different challenges. They try to assimilate us. They try to get rid of us. They try to make it clear we don't exist. We don't have rights. We've beaten them everywhere, and we'll continue to beat them now. So I actually wrote a letter now to all the pharmacy companies that deal with Moderna, AstraZeneca, Pfizer. I wrote to all of them, the presidents, the chairmen, to see if I can buy the medicine directly. I'm saying in my province of Manitoba, they're not allowing us to have our vaccines. We're the only people that are just single-handedly, given the highest chronic illnesses, excluded from having vaccines, while British Columbia, while Alberta, allows the Métis to be there. They're not saying, show me the data. We know your health conditions are bad. So they're giving the Métis in Alberta, they're giving the Métis in British Columbia. So we know this is personal in Manitoba. That's evidence right there.
I didn't know that.
This is personal, Ray. So you're not of value to this premier and to this province. And to those two doctors, they should be ashamed of themselves. So I wrote into the pharmacies now saying, look, allow us to buy it from you. I'll buy $3 million worth of vaccines. I'll give you the money. I'll sign a check. Give me the vaccines, and I'll give it to my people myself. Yeah. I'll hire the nurses. I'll hire the pharmacists. I'll get in partnership with the doctors. I'll give the Métis people their vaccines. And we'll decide what's good for us, not some doctor who doesn't care about us or if obviously doesn't even know about us if she doesn't know all chronic illnesses. So I just, this particular story just really starts to get me going because I know that they're being personally vindictive to the Métis people, right. And I know where it's coming from. Everybody knows it's coming from the Premier, but it is unbelievable that's happening. I'm trying to find something here. If they're listening, I want to read this to the people. This is from one of our own citizens who has been paying attention to what's going on. So he sent us an email, and I'm trying to find it here. April, if you guys are listening, I can't do two things with my hands here, but I'm trying to find the actual email. I'm going to read this email because he's allowed us to read it now. It's his own personal email to us, and I just want to read it out, and I think people are going to get... And people, please don't... I'm not swearing on the show. I'm saying something that was given to me by one of our citizens, and it's not a swear anyway, but I just want to make sure that people understand the message he's trying to relay. I'm trying to find it here right now in my emails, and if you're listening, April or Kat, somebody, send it to me right now because I want it, and I'm going to read it on the show. It's perfect to read after the vaccine report. I'm getting something here. I'll see. Maybe one of them's finally sending it. You got it there, Gore? Thank you. Gore's found it. Okay, good. Now, remember this fight we're having with the vaccines, right? And they're ignoring us. The doctors are supporting the Premier and making excuses why they don't include us. Yeah. And our people are watching this. A lot of people, Richard Chartrand wrote one out and very angry to his MLA out in Interlake. I commend them, Richard Chartrand. But this is from Edward Ted Bohemer. He says, "Hi, Kat." Kat works in my office. Mm-hmm. I just read the news release from President Chartrand. Province loose definition of First Nation preys on virus fears of Métis Nation. It encouraged me to remember to say thank you for all the great work that President Chartrand and the Manitoba Métis Federation are doing in an attempt to procure a COVID vaccine for the Métis people. I recognize the struggle that the Federation has with our current government as it is my belief, give me a second, that our current provincial government does not want to negotiate anything with any of the Indigenous population in Manitoba. Sad, very sad. Again, thank you to everyone who is working for our Métis rights. If I die from COVID before Palliser approves distinction-based vaccines, I assure everyone that I will return in ghost form and kick Palliser right in the nuts and hopefully do some damage. Yours sincerely, Edward. I tell you, Ray, I laughed and I was so proud of Edward describing his views of what he's going to do from afterlife later if he dies before this COVID vaccine ever gets to his arm that Palliser is denying us to have. So I tell you, man, that was priceless. Thank you very much, Edward. You made my day.
No, mine too.
But just think of the hardship a lot of these people are facing. That fear, the scaredness. Like our young leaders have proved this over and over that they're doing a great job protecting their families. They're not going out. They're not bringing COVID home, etc. But it just the elders, our citizens, just thinking at home and they're watching this and they're wondering why are they doing this to us? What have we We've done our part in this country. We formed this province. We helped Western Canada become what it is. We fought to protect everyone. We fought to protect First Nations in the 1870s because there was such a small population of First Nation. We fought side by side with them in Batoche. Mm-hmm. So we stood together and fought hard. And our people are wondering, why are we the ones left out? Why are we the ones that are being penalized and victimized by the government, by the same province that we helped create? So it's hard for our elders to understand that when they see everybody else getting the vaccines and they're not entitled to it. It is heartbreaking to watch this happen. So I hope these pharmaceutical companies respond back to me, and because I'm pleading with them that let us buy the medicine. I'll buy the medicine ourselves, but give us the opportunity to buy it. And because right now Canada can't give it to us because it goes to the provinces. Right. The province has jurisdiction over health. But we're pushing the federal government. Look, if this continues, you've got to give it directly to us, even if you break the agreement with the province. You've got to let our people have a chance to live. You can't take that from them. They have enough mental anguish as it is, and we got to fight for them. So, anyways, that's up in the air, and I'll keep on fighting for that. Ray, I'll never give up on that fight, and I trust me, I will eventually win.
I know you will.
I don't give up on something that's so vital to my people, and I will fight to the end. So, another issue that's coming up, and there's people listening on the show right now, I'm sure of it, issue of leased crown lands to our ranchers and farmers. There is very strong concern by our small farmers and ranchers out there, where the government has now increased their lease crown land for expanding, of course, where they're going to get their hay from, or expanding their cattle or their farm. And what's happening, however, is that they've been increasing this cost so high so quickly, it's going to bankrupt these little farmers and these ranchers. And Francis is going to a meeting, in fact, in St. Rose to represent our government to talk to the farmers and ranchers who are up in arms and scared that they can't afford it. They're being stretched. They're already struggling as it is, but now they're being asked to pay way beyond from, say hypothetically, I'll use this number, you pay $2,000 for lease. It is now up to $7,000 or $10,000. Like, where are they going to get this extra $5,000, $8,000? Mm-hmm. Like, they already have a hard time making ends meet. So we are looking into this file, and maybe there's a way that the Federation government can subsidize these farmers and ranchers. So if you're listening, ranchers and farmers, get participating in this process. Our office will be looking at it, the Funia Regional Office, to give us the evidence of the leased lands that are being increased so dramatically on you and the hard hits you're facing. And as ranchers and farmers, they're not going to be able to afford it. And they're part of our economy. They've got to be able to afford it. They've got to be able to take care of their families. So Federation right now is going to be looking at how, in the meantime, how do we fight the government to stop them from what they're doing? Because what they're going to do, Ray, is kill the small guy, the small businessman, the medium-sized little businessman, get them out of the way, and then bring the big companies in there. That's what they're going to do. And they've done that in different parts of Canada, in different parts of the world, and that's what they're going to try to do here. And that's why you see the farmers, for example, in India, were fighting vigorously to protect the cost of managing their farms. Same thing is happening here now with what the government is doing. So here you have Palliser saying he cares for a small business, medium-sized, and here he's destroying him on this side with his right arm. He's slapping him with his left. So we are going to be looking at this. We'll check with mayors and reeves to find out what it is and why is it that this is happening, and also with the province. But the government will look, our Métis government I'm talking about, will look at ways in which we can support financially to supplement these lease costs that are coming down against these ranchers, farmers. Because I can't see them shutting their doors and closing their farms. This is where they grew up. This is their family, and we need to support them like any business. So if ranchers and farmers are listening, you're being hit hard with that lease, get it to your region right away, and we will plan a meeting to discuss how we're going to handle that and maybe subsidize some of those costs so we can take it off your backs and let us worry about it as a Métis government. We'll fight with them, with you, side by side, to try to find justice for yourselves. So another program I think Marcy has been working on this file, of course, in all the regions. A lot of people are getting fish already, and I want to thank Freshwater. This is fresh fish, they say, of this year already. We are delivering that fish province-wide. There's 40,000 pounds, Ray, of fish. It's gone out right now. Southwest is next week, and Winnipeg, I think, is on Sunday. But right now, it's all in the other regions, 5 regions, being distributed house to house. Some are driving to pick it up, and I can't tell you some of the pictures I'm getting, the smiles, and they're so happy to be getting that fish so they can have a traditional meal at home, and just such pride. And some, of course, are getting bison. You heard Linda on the show, and thank you, Linda, for your kind words.
Yep.
And the Demray. But you look at all of these things right now. We're going to be distributing 40,000 pounds of fish throughout the entire province. So we're ensuring they both get whitefish and pickled at the same time, but they're all fillets. So again, I want to thank them each of our people working out there to get these fillets, and be safe out there. Make sure you have your mask, wash your hands, and as you distribute this fish. And for those that are picking it up, thank you very much. I want to say thank you. I also want to say hello to Conrad Munias out in way up in Pine. What the hell? I forgot the name. Community up in Saskatchewan. He's going to kill me. Conrad and Richard probably listening out there, and I want to say a special hello to them out in Saskatchewan. Listen to our show all the time. But again, this fish is something that's so important, and I'm so proud that we're delivering this to all of them across our province. And our team is so well, because of the AMPER system we have, Ray, is so well organized and distributed across the province, and so many people are going to get their hands on fish that they can put in their frying pan as quickly as they can. So, and the nets we're still waiting for more fishermen. We had the net order is going out. We also have some nets that we have here. We're giving 5 to licensed active fishermen. Remember the words licensed active fishermen, people out there, not to somebody that used to be a fisherman and may one day want to fish and want 5 nets right now. So it's for those. It's an economic investment to the fishers who are hurting, and of course we have some financial subsidies to the fishers. As I'm saying to the farmers and ranchers, we need to also have further subsidies regarding their lease costs. So I want to again also state for most people out there that the Federation is desperately trying to make sure we address all your needs. And right now, my big concern for students, we are working with Minister Ledoux to put another tranche of finances into the arms of into the bank accounts of our students to make sure that they can take care of themselves. Because even though there's still some opening coming up and some businesses are starting to open up, I actually went to a restaurant last night, right? The first time in what? It's got to be 6 months, 7 months.
Wow.
Since we went to a restaurant. My wife wanted to go to use some of our coupons, gift cards we had, and so they booked at the Keg, and we went last night. And you have to go in your own family, you go in your own corner. But it was nice just to go out. We've never been to a restaurant in 6 months,
right?
And still, we have to be a little bit nervous and cautious. My wife's very protective about that, and as soon as we get out of there, and before you even get out of there, every time you're eating a meal, she slaps out the hand washer, hand sanitizer, and you got to wash your hands halfway through your meal here. So, but it just goes to show, of course, you have to wear your mask and be safe. So you won't see me going for a restaurant for a while, but I wanted to go in partnership with my wife and family. There's 4 of us that went out, and we actually enjoyed it. And I bought some food for Don. You're awaited here because he couldn't come. Don wanted to come so badly, but only a household can sit with each other. And Don does live in my house, so he can't come to the restaurant with us. So, so I bought him. He waited for me at the house outside here. I bought him a meal from the restaurant. So, and final, Ray, the AGA is coming up. We're having an AGA. It's not going to be a traditional AGA as we usually had. It's all going to be by Zoom and all this damn internet stuff. Yep. I say damn because I'm not a big fan of it. I love the hand-to-hand contact, eye-to-eye contact, and the hugging. As you heard people say, I'm a hugger here on the show. I'm the same way, and just to see the people and converse with them face-to-face, especially the elders. They're not into the Zoom stuff and computers in front of them. Many don't have that or don't even know how. Like me, I still struggle with this computer. So, but we are having one. There'll probably be about 500 people on the Zoom. It'll be every local and 3 executive of the locals. But what I'm doing is to respect the democracy of our people. There'll be no resolutions this year at this assembly. We plan to have an assembly in October where we have people there that will show up, because then we'll have our true assemblies that we always have at the Federation. And, of course, we have about 3,000 people that come to our assemblies. So this assembly will be more for information. There'll be some motions on certain things that we, of course, our finances and our audit and things of that nature. But otherwise, it's going to be information sharing, taking back to their locals and advising. There's some election constitutional bylaws. There'll be quite a number of them that have been recommended for change by our chief electoral officer. But that's only for information, because we give our people a year in advance on any constitutional revisions. They have a year to look at them and discuss them, dialogue with them at their local, at their region, and then come back with a very informative decision of voting in favor or against. So we always make sure democracy is important to the Métis government, and I'm looking forward to this one. And then it's just going to have a chance to see so many faces. But again, Ray, you're not going to see 500 faces in there, but there's going to be 500 people participating. And every time I think they speak, and you can see their face. I'm not good at IT, Ray, but I know we'll see a number of faces. And every time there's a question, a little hand's supposed to come up there, and then somebody will indicate Ray St. Germain's hands up. So he'll be the next speaker. And then your face will come on the screen, and everybody gets to see your face. So it's just a bunch of IT stuff I don't understand myself. But I'll be participating, of course, and I look forward to meeting a lot of our local executives. And we don't say enough thank you to the locals, and they work so hard in their communities to make such a difference. Even right now with the fish, a lot of locals are going to pick it up and distributing right to their own family members and community members around the village. So our locals work so hard. So again, thank you to all the locals. I look forward to talking to you soon at the end of March. I think it's March 27th, but I'll talk further on it and further updates. So, and the daycare centers, Ray, you would be so proud of them. I'll put them on the website later. They're being built as we speak, and the one in Dauphin is humongous, and I think it's going to be 50 children in that one and more, and so it is giant. The one in St. Eustache is really moving up quick. We're building 2 houses in St. Ambrose. That's already on the agenda. The prices of lumber, Ray, and everybody out there that knows right now doing some repairs is gone sky high, Ray. The price of lumber is unbelievable. It is so expensive now to get lumber. It is scary to try to get lumber because of how much it costs right now. Because everybody's doing work because they're all at home, and you're not getting all your supplies. So the lumber prices, if you're going to build something, I'm telling you, it's costing a fortune. So we're actually ordering a bunch of steel frame houses from China and make sure we get to it as fast as we can to make sure they get all of their stuff. But again, I'll close off now and say again, thank you very much. And of course, that was the Pine House, and that's where it was. I apologize, Conrad. I just went blank. Yeah. Anyways, Conrad, that's listening out in Pine House, and they also want to say Albert and Teresa, not the Magan. Not the Magan means helping some. That's his last name. March 1st is their 50th year anniversary. So Albert, I know Albert personally. He can jig up a storm. He came to several of our assemblies from Saskatchewan. He came all the way here. And Albert says he's a one-woman man. So, so that's why he's been married 50 years. I'm a one-woman man. He's a great, nice guy, and he seems shy, but I tell you, when you start talking to him, he knows what he's talking about. And so I'll send a beautiful gift on behalf of the Métis government to all the way to Pine House. Albert and his wife were celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary, and to also to Larry Vicker in Tova. They're celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. In fact, today, I believe, or tomorrow, Ray. So on behalf of all the Métis people, I want to firstly thank Larry Vicker and Tova and all their family for being so strong. And as we know, it's hard to today. And Ralph, my neighbor, used to say, he said, people today, they get married and they have divorces as fast as they get married. He said, it's like changing socks today. So, you know, that was his version of how marriages were breaking apart. But it shows that it could happen. You got to have faith, you got to believe in it, and work hard to accomplish it. And it's not easy, trust me. There's hard times for everybody, including me. We have challenges at home, myself and Gloria, but we have to overcome them and find answers to how we get past them, right? So anyways, again, take care, everybody, and thank you for listening to the show. And it's always a great pleasure when I see so many people laughing on the show and talking. And again, Linda, thank you for your kind words, Demray. And I know she's talking about that. It's a very famous tortera, I think it's called, or something like that. And somebody will probably phone on the show and tell you what it's called. And I'm sure she's going to make some fine pie dishes there. It's like a little pie. So anyways, we'll take care, everybody, and keep it a good, Ray, and be safe, Ray. Understand that variant is still out there. There's 3. Could go. That one rapidly moves quicker, and so people be very cautious. They're lower numbers. They're going to be opening more and more businesses. Restaurants are going to be increasing on size, and then they're doing everything everywhere. And slowly we'll have to move our way in there, but try to get back into your houses as fast as you can until we can get our vaccines at the same time, until we can overcome this damn virus that caused so much damage and hardship to so many people. So you guys take care and be good and be safe.
All right, thanks, David.
Thank you very much, Ray. Bye-bye. Okay,
David Chartrand, of course, the president of the Manitoba Métis Federation, with his weekly report, Métis Matters, and busy. Wow.